What's up, cows? It's your favorite Nephilim back at again with another React Andy. Today is going to be an extra sloppy one. Anyway, this obviously just looks like two people were bored today and they decided to make videos about each other. Anyways, we're gonna check this out. We're gonna react Andy to it nonetheless.
Hey, Professor here. So
Hi,
this video
Rev.
is addressing the very serious allegations that I'm currently facing. I know another round of allegations against me. It must be a day that ends in Y. But unfortunately, with this situation, my supposed co-conspirator has publicly spoken out. And now I feel very compelled to respond and do something I've never done before on this channel, and that is leak DMs. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am leaking these spicy DMs between me and
spicy? Go on.
Banana Juju in the hopes that I clear my name from these allegations. Where are these allegations coming from? Well, from Reddit. Now, it comes from the VTuber Drama subreddit. I've been talking about this subreddit for the last couple of days, really last week, and it's been the infinite content glitch where I recently discovered this subreddit that was not only saying crazy things about other VTubers, but there's dozens upon dozens of threads about me and my content saying all kinds of slanderous and outlandish things, including a thread sharing a video where I talked about a situation involving the VTuber Banana Juju. And over the past year or two, I talked about Banana Juju a couple of times because she is involved in many different cancel culture campaigns where people are trying to cancel her because of her VTuber model, because she is a monkey-themed VTuber with dreads, and people are saying that she's culturally appropriating things.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an extent, you know, obviously you can tell when people are appropriating, or, no, you know, appropriating is not even the right word. That word's so overused. You can tell when people are copying a hairstyle from a group of people that usually has that hairstyle and they're doing it in the way to make fun of them. You can tell. There is always a tell. And 99% of the time, that's never the case. I mean, we had that whole, like, what's it called? It was ages ago, back during, like, 2016, 2017 YouTube, where a woman was wearing, like, a, it was, like, either a Chinese or Japanese or one of those, it was either Chinese or Japanese. Basically, this outfit that was inspired from one of those, from that. And then a bunch of Twitter freaks had the issue because cultural appropriation, yeah, that is not real. So what you're saying is that you only ever want people to wear what you're wearing. Except the hypocrisy is that, all right, fine. You only want people to wear the clothes that belong to the race. All right, you can't wear t-shirts anymore. Now, that was made by white men. That was made by white women, too. You're not allowed to wear t-shirts anymore. Polos as well? Yeah. If you are any other race than white, you're not allowed to wear that. If we're going to abide by those same standards. You see how quickly that falls apart? Because who doesn't wear t-shirts? Who doesn't wear polos? Who doesn't wear button-ups? All these things that were made by the evil white man. If we're going to try and abide by your standards, you can't be wearing that. It doesn't work. Now, one thing that no one ever talks about for Banana Juju is that she had a darker skin model before this current one that she uses. But no one ever seems to talk about that. Only thing ever people talk about is her dreads. So, I only bring it up in the way I just find it confusing why people only care about the dreads existing. Also, fun fact, if I remember correctly, the way you can actually get dreadlocks is you don't wash your hair for, like, weeks. You have to have greasy, gross, disgusting hair to have it. That's what I heard once, though. I'm not sure how much to believe that, but yeah. In short, you're gay, derogatory if you care about what hairstyle someone's using today, or what clothes someone wears, unless they're going around and being the slur-singing slasher while they're like wearing the, I don't know, a sombrero and having the typical mustache that, like, Mexican people did back during the Westerns. Back during Gunsmoke.
And yada, yada, yada. And of course, all these cancel culture campaigns.
And that's in current year. Because back then, that's was the attire of those people.
Fired horribly. They essentially gave her a career by putting a spotlight on her, where a lot of people ended up rallying behind her despite all the attempts to ruin her life. But in this thread, there were some...
Yeah, they tried, and then, little did they know, they did the exact opposite, and now she's, like, one of the most popular VTubers. Womp womp.
Heinous and outlandish allegations insinuating that me and her are having extramarital relations. Why, you ask? Because
you're friendly with her. Because these people are delusional, and they immediately believe that a man can only interact with one woman, and if a man interacts with several women, that obviously means he's they're side hoes. That's how delusional these people are. They are so out of touch of reality that they believe men can only have one woman friend, and everybody else, that is just them keeping potential future partners in case something goes wrong with their current one. Or again, they're side hoes, and they are sexy sex cloth off without wife knowing. Yeah, these people live sad, pathetic lives, and I would not be surprised that they are lonely and they're depressed, despite them having supposedly hundreds of friends.
Talking about her in YouTube videos. I know, absolutely insane. Now, of course, Banana Juju has responded. That's right. Not only did she make a video about it, but she did make some public tweets, and I felt so compelled to clear my name because I am very scared.
AKA, he was he was low on content today. Nothing was going on, so this was just easy money.
These Reddit allegations.
Fair.
So I'm doing something, like I said, I've never done before. I'm leaking.
You know, if people make Reddit posts about me, if I ever discover that, dude, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. That's the dream, baby. Fun fact, apparently, you can't suppose... There's some Reddit sites where you're not allowed to make YouTube videos on them unless you, like, pay the moderators first. Which, in short, is the most retarded thing ever. You're on a publicly available website. The fuck you mean I gotta give you money so I can read your publicly available shit? Oh, sorry. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you're making money off of us. Ooh. Yeah, alright. Well, just post it somewhere else than Reddit, retards.
DMs. There's my entire history.
Oh my gosh. No, he said happy birthday! Dude! He risen her up. He said happy birthday!
Juju. Now, of course, on the 16th, I released a video showcasing this entire thread on Reddit, the deranged nature of it. But I also learned while live streaming, and you should check out my live streams on YouTube, by the way, people said it's her birthday. So, you know, being the heinous, awful guy that I am.
Fun fact, the happy birthday song is actually copyrighted. That's why there's several movies where they never sing it. Even like the very, very popular movies or movies that have like $100 million budgets. Because the people aren't even willing to pay the $1 million or the few $1 million just to have the official happy birthday song in there.
I said, oh, I should wish Banana Juju a happy birthday because I've never sent her a message before, which is kind of crazy to think about, but I did send this and she responded by saying, oh no, Rev, what would Straub, your wife, say to this extramarital DM? Saw your video this morning. Thank you for the birthday wishes and greetings to the missus. Bless you both for being so based. She already knew the context of everything going on, as she should. But yeah, that was the entire Rev logs, the Rev files, the DMs that have been leaked. Here they are. That's it. That's the entire conversation of this
wholesome,
apparently very spicy affair. And also keep in mind, she lives in Sweden.
So? You tell me you ain't gonna go to Sweden to visit the Banana Juju? Come on. You tell me you ain't gonna spend a couple $1,000 just so that way you can get some banana juicy? I wouldn't.
So I don't know, like maybe I got that stretch arms.
Although if a woman wants to do that for me, they're more than welcome to. I ain't doing that myself though.
Strong reach, I don't know, but pretty insane stuff. But she would make this tweet promoting her video, talking about the situation, talking about the rumors, and the replies are very funny, where people are saying, Straubs and banana smoothie time. Nah, I'm an eggnog guy. Juju, girl, we're going to talk about that title. You know, respect for the clickbait, okay? From one clickbaiter to another. Much respect, but...
I mean, hey, that's how you grow. That's just how you grow. You can cry about all you want, but it is what it is. I mean, I used to be a annoyed teenager that had a problem with it too, until I realized literally everybody does it. Everyone does it for a reason, because if you don't, no one's going to click on your videos. Especially if there's several other people that are talked about this thing that you're looking into. Like, for instance, there was a retrospective? There was a retrospective on this game called Linda. I clicked on the title. I thought that was going to be a lot darker than what it really was. It was kind of dark, but only for like the first third of the game, and then the other 2/3. The second third was it was kind of dark, but then the final third was really not that dark. It was just, for the most part, wholesome, strangely. But I was expecting, something that was extremely depraved, extremely sad. You have a girlfriend, and girlfriend's schizo, and she starts gaming people, but you can't stop her for whatever reason. That's not what happened in the game. That's what I was led to believe from the thumbnail, and I thought that was so interesting. That wasn't what happened, though. I clicked on it, and you could say that I was thinking that this game was the old version, or basically the me-side before me-side. It was not. It was not, unfortunately, so.
More comments saying, I can't believe 2 people who never met had an affair. This affair is absolutely bananas. Boonch. Juju says Desu has an affair with Banana Rev. Yep. That is what the Redditors are saying, but here was my reaction on Twitter. Rev, what's going on, big guy? I don't know. But of course, let's go back to the subreddit. What's going on over there? Because the post about the whole Banana Juju situation was bombing. But because of my coverage over the last week, this subreddit is imploding in real time. They're now saying we need to add a new rule to ban slander.
No, we add. Okay, they forget to add the word need.
Slander and those who post it, as we can finally get rid of all these fake posters.
The fake posters? Bro, what do you mean? It's r/VTuber drama. Does that not? That's so incredibly vague. That can literally be any form of gossip about a VTuber. Any form. What do you mean?
I'm tired of the false, weak drama.
Tired of the weak-ass drama? What does that even mean? You want to give some examples? Obviously, they don't have any examples. Because, according to Rev here, for the most part, this Reddit, this subreddit, was mainly just people shit on Rev and Banana Juju.
And here's a response saying, it'd honestly be easier to run verification and close off topics that are false, but this sub is genuinely terrible and doesn't have any mod muscle. Your better option is to just leave and stop using this place as a source of any information.
Why are you using a drama Reddit as a source of information? Why are you using Reddit for information as well? What a Cro-Magnon. Reddit is the place you go if you want to be lied to. The only case is if it doesn't involve people. Like, tech issues, and finding things that you don't quite remember is the only thing that Reddit is good for. Otherwise, opinions on politics, stuff that's going on in the real world, or people, you go there when you want to be lied to.
And guys, by the way, they have one mod. They literally have one moderator on this entire subreddit. No wonder it's an absolute disaster. But here's another mod-related situation. I talked about this yesterday, where one individual on the subreddit was trying to cancel the VTuber Jelly for saying
pedo in the subreddit? What?
A bundle of stick slur in a recent stream. And people are accusing that original poster of being a predator and all these other things. But they won't ban him. It's so odd that no matter how many call-out threads on the subreddit, no matter how many complaints that are made, they won't ban this.
I love how this Reddit has been kind of taken over, and nothing is getting any updates anymore. How does that have 126 comments yet 0 updates? Aren't you supposed to get like negative? Is it? impossible to get negative updates on Reddit if it's a post, but possible if it's a comment. Is that how that works? I don't know. I really don't use Reddit unless I'm begging Reddit to help me find something. Again, pens, offline music apps, issues that I'm having with my computer. Something that is 18 plus that I'm having trouble finding.
Allegedly terrible individual, but if you make a post sympathizing with all the problematic VTubers are being called out on the subreddit, you get instantly banned, your comments deleted, down-duded into oblivion. But when it comes to this situation, it seems like they're harboring some pretty, allegedly, bad individuals. But of course, there's more threads getting down-duded into oblivion that say, hear me out. Okay, y'all, for once, let's not try to bash any right-wing grifter/believer in their anti-woke ideological agenda cults, and let's actually try each of us just name one genuine, positive, or good take about them. You get me?
No, listen, man, this is called r/VTuber drama. That ain't ever happening. What are you talking about? Yes, guys, let's go to this drama site and let's talk about the positive things. Let's be nice to people. No. You poor soul. I think it is true. I don't think posts can get negative downvotes. Or, yeah, I don't think they can get negative upvotes. They can only get upvotes.
And this person says, you're not going to get me to say anything nice about people who think others deserve less rights for simply existing.
Would you like to go into detail on what that implies? What that means, buddy? What does that entail? Who are you talking about? And what are the things that people are saying people should have less rights for? Or, that's all open-ended.
Just that this specific statement or point never happened, are we making stuff up again? And they point out a thread about Kirsha, and I can tell you this without even looking, they are lying. They are prolific liars when it comes to Kirsha. I think the only person who is more targeted on Reddit than me might be Kirsha. But we continue on, people saying no. They show their grift early on, making it super easy to block them. It's easy
to block them, but yet you still want to shit about them? Well, that sounds like a very pathetic existence. Yeah, guys, just, block them, so that way they can't have a chance to reply to us. But we'll still talk mad schmack about them in the background.
Positive. Which is crazy. Not a single person in these subreddits can explain why someone like me or these other problematic VTubers are grifters. Someone who is apparently lying about their personal beliefs for monetary gain. How?
That's because the word means absolutely nothing, and grifter is the same thing as calling someone a Nazi, which is aka an acceptable target for violence, an acceptable target for harassment. That's really all it means nowadays, especially to these people. Specifically, people on the left. I am more inclined to actually believe the dictionary definition when somebody that is neutral or most definitely on the right side calling somebody else a grifter. I'm more inclined to believe that they actually are using the dictionary definition word, whereas people on the left, they just use it again to say you are acceptable target for harassment and violence. Anyways, that was short. That was, like I said, a sloppy jalopy. If you enjoyed, comment, subscribe on Rev's video here. If you enjoyed me reacting to the slop here, comment, subscribe here. I'll see you vamp cows next time. Vermire feast upon the next victim.